At CBS News Chicago, we are listening to you, and we were the first to warn you about some notices sent by the IRS telling taxpayers they didn't pay their taxes even though they did.
And we continue to hear from people getting similar notices here in the Chicago area and across the country for that matter. CBS News Chicago investigator Tara Molina here now, taking these concerns to the IRS, but officially we're really not hearing much.
Right, Joe and Marie, and we've been checking in daily for a full week now. We were originally told the IRS would hopefully have information to share last Wednesday. We've had nothing sent our way since. I actually talked to an IRS spokesperson on the phone today following these repeated requests. They told me they're still working on a response to our questions. No timeline provided. Jasmine Walton is familiar with this hold music, but she's never had it break for an answered call to the IRS.
It says, please hold, the music or whatever goes on, and I have to disconnect because I have to get back to work.
Please hold while your call is transferred.
Why am I having to spend my whole workday losing more income for myself to tell you I don't owe anything?
They say she owes nearly $7,000. It was a painful tax bill for Jasmine and her family once. Twice?
We're counting every penny that leaves our household. So to tell us that we owe additional thousands on top of the thousands that we've paid already, it almost sent us into a tizzy.
Adding insult to injury, the bill the Waltons got from the IRS already had penalties and fines tacked onto it, even though they paid what they owed ahead of the April 15th deadline. And the money hasn't been in their account since.
CBS News Chicago investigator Tara Molina joins us here at
Scrolling TikTok one day, she realized they weren't the only ones.
Watching that news segment to find out that we were not alone gave us some resolve.
IRS notices being
like so many others we've heard from since first exposing this IRS issue last week, Jasmine learned she was part of something bigger through that reporting. With an IRS agent telling our producer, also impacted by the mistake, their electronic payment system is experiencing delays processing money sent in by April 15th. They said they should be caught up by June 29th, making assurances penalties and interest would be erased. Why is this happening? And for transparency's sake, why isn't this information being shared directly online?
Update your website. It takes a marginal amount of time just to put a nice banner up there stating that we are behind. You may receive a notification in error.
I've been asking the IRS, along with questions about an Inspector General for Tax Inspection report released this spring, detailing an 11% reduction of staff. About 7,000 of those workers are probationary, so they may be back on the job. But we're still waiting for the IRS to clarify.
My ask of them is to fix it.
And to be clear, like we said, we are still waiting on the IRS. We also reached out to lawmakers about this today. Senator Tammy Duckworth got right back to us. She says her office is seeing increased response times from agencies like the IRS and urges people to reach out to her office to help. We'll continue to track this, and I will continue making those daily requests to the IRS.
We know you'll never get tired of it, but it's important to find out what they're going to say.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tara.